Welcome to World Mysteries, where we delve into the shadowy depths of history's greatest enigmas. From the lost legends of ancient civilizations to the unexplained phenomena of the modern era, join us as we embark on a journey to uncover the secrets and stories that have mystified mankind for centuries. In each episode, we'll explore a new mystery, examining the latest research, theories, and evidence in an attempt to bring light to the darkest corners of our past. Whether you're a seasoned historian or a curious newcomer, prepare to be captivated by the strange, the supernatural, and the still unsolved. Welcome to the adventure. Welcome to World Mysteries. 1. The Rongorongo Scripts. Rongorongo is not only a mystery of Easter Island, but also one of the most intriguing cultural paradoxes in the world. It refers to a manuscript containing hieroglyphic scripts believed to have been created by the island's earliest inhabitants. Mysteriously, this writing system appeared around the 1700s, at a time when residents of neighboring islands had not yet developed their writing systems. The origins and specific uses of Rongorongo remain unclear, adding to its enigma as there are no definitive records of who created it or why. The language gradually disappeared after European colonists arrived on the island in the 19th century. The colonists, burdened with religious and cultural prejudices, deemed this writing system a sign of pagan beliefs and promptly prohibited its use. This ban, combined with diseases and conflicts brought by the Europeans, nearly eradicated the native language and culture of the Rapa Nui people. To this day, deciphering Rongorongo remains a challenge for linguists and archaeologists. The lack of contextual data about the language's use, compounded by the absence of comparative documents due to the extinction of the spoken language, makes decoding difficult. Despite many efforts, the Rongorongo scripts have yet to be fully deciphered, continuing to fuel speculation and myths about the mysterious past of Easter Island. 2. The mysterious disappearance of the city of Helike. The ancient Greek writer Pausanias recorded one of the most terrifying natural disasters in ancient history, the fierce overnight earthquake that completely destroyed the city of Helike. This catastrophic event was followed by a tremendous tsunami that swept away and submerged what was left of this once flourishing and vibrant capital. Helike was not only the administrative center of the Achaean League, but also a major religious center dedicated to the worship of Poseidon, the sea god revered deeply in Greek mythology. Although Pausanias provided detailed accounts of the event, for centuries no physical evidence existed to prove the city's existence. The legendary city had almost vanished from historical memory until 20th century archaeologists discovered ancient coins engraved with the image of Poseidon, reaffirming the location and reality of Helike. A significant breakthrough occurred in 2001 when two archaeologists pinpointed the exact location of Helike, buried under thick layers of mud and gravel. Excavations were undertaken, opening new hopes for discovering not only the city's developmental and decline processes, but also the mystical elements that might connect it to the legendary city of Atlantis. The work of these scientists not only sheds light on a lost civilization, but also provides invaluable insights into the interactions between ancient cultures in the Mediterranean region. Number 3. Bog Mummies, Preserved Secrets of the Ancient Marshlands. To date, archaeologists have discovered hundreds of mummies, predominantly from the Iron Age, hidden within the marshy lands of northern Europe. These mummies are remarkably preserved due to the unique natural conditions of the bogs. They have retained skin and hair, providing a vivid glimpse into the physical appearance and even facial expressions of the long-deceased. A particularly notable and disturbing feature is the evidence of torture and violence found on their bodies, such as bindings, necks constricted by metal collars, and other injuries that cannot be explained by natural causes alone. The presence of these marks not only conjures images of violent deaths, but also supports the hypothesis that these mummies might have been victims of sacrificial rituals. These rituals, presumed to appease gods or ancestral spirits, reflect an aspect of the religious and social culture of the time, where death was seen as part of a deeper spiritual process. These discoveries not only illuminate the burial practices and religious beliefs of ancient communities, but also provide insights into their social systems and laws, where violence and sacrifice may have been enacted as part of societal and spiritual order. Ongoing research on these mummies and their discovery sites will continue to expand our understanding of humanity's complex past. For the fall of the Minoan civilization, unraveling an ancient mystery. While historians continue to explore and expand on the factors that led to the fall of the Roman Empire, the disappearance of the Minoan civilization remains an enigma. Around 3,500 years ago, a severe earthquake hit the island of Thera, now known as Santorini, delivering catastrophic effects to the island of Crete, the center of Minoan civilization. This disaster is believed to have triggered a massive tsunami that obliterated the flourishing civilization that once thrived there. The story of King Minos and the Minotaur, residing in the vast labyrinth of Knossos, also originates from Crete, illustrating the cultural richness and mythological depth of the Minoans. Clay tablets unearthed by archaeologists suggest that despite this catastrophe, the Minoan civilization continued to exist for about 50 more years before it completely disappeared. The theories regarding the collapse of the Minoan Empire are varied. Some scholars believe that the volcanic ash from Thera's eruption blanketed the sky, disrupting photosynthesis and leading to a series of failed harvests, which ultimately brought about economic decline and famine. Others suggest that the Minoans may have been conquered by ancient Greek forces, who took advantage of the weakened state of Minoan society to extend their own territories. Although the exact cause is still debated, the fall of the Minoan civilization is undeniably one of ancient history's greatest tragedies, marking the end of a highly advanced and once dominant civilization. Number 5. The Carnac Stones, decoding the megalithic mysteries of Brittany. While Stonehenge in England remains a captivating mystery for scientists, the Carnac Stones along the northeastern coast of Brittany, France, perhaps provoke even more curiosity. Over 3,000 massive stones are meticulously aligned in near-perfect rows stretching over 12 kilometers. Local legends claim that these stones are a Roman legion turned to stone by the wizard Merlin. A scientist who has studied the site for over 30 years hypothesizes that these stones served as an ancient earthquake prediction tool. The identities of the Neolithic people who constructed this remarkable site remain deeply mysterious. Robin Hood, who was he? Historians continue their quest to uncover the real identity of the legendary Robin Hood, the outlaw of Sherwood Forest who famously robbed from the rich to give to the poor. The list of suspects includes several historical figures, such as a fugitive named Robert Hod, Hobahod, and a Robert Hood from Wakefield. Distinguishing the real Robin Hood becomes increasingly challenging as the name was synonymous with being an outlaw, as demonstrated by William Lefevre, who later changed his surname to Robehod, according to court records. The search for this legendary figure is complicated further, as storytellers over time have woven in additional characters like Prince John and Richard the Lionheart into the tale. Number 6. The Lost Legion, unraveling the disappearance of a Roman army. Following a catastrophic defeat at the hands of the Parthians, a fragment of General Crassus's beleaguered Roman army was taken captive. Legend has it that a small band of these Roman prisoners managed to survive their ordeal, wandering through vast and unforgiving deserts before astonishingly assimilating into a foreign military force nearly 2 decades later. This historical footnote was intriguingly documented by Ban Gu, a revered historian of 1st century China, who detailed an encounter with an enigmatic army that employed a distinctive combat formation reminiscent of the scales of a fish, a tactical arrangement notoriously associated with Roman legions. In an illuminating piece of scholarship, a historian from the University of Oxford delved deep into ancient manuscripts and emerged with a compelling theory. He suggested that these Roman survivors might have founded a small settlement known as Lycian, located in proximity to the harsh expanse of the Gobi Desert. The name Lycian itself is thought to be derived from the Chinese transliteration of Rome, hinting at the origins of its founders. To add a layer of scientific validation to this fascinating theory, contemporary researchers have initiated DNA testing on the local population of the region. They aim to uncover genetic evidence that could support the historical claims and perhaps explain some distinctive physical traits prevalent among the inhabitants today, such as green eyes, blonde hair, and a cultural penchant for bullfighting, which stand out starkly against the typical genetic markers of the area. These efforts may bridge the vast chasms of history and geography to unite a remote Chinese village with the ancient splendors of Rome. 7. The Voynich Manuscript, deciphering the world's most mysterious text. The Voynich Manuscript is perhaps one of the most extraordinary mysteries in the academic world, considered the most incomprehensible work ever discovered. Unearthed in 1912 by Wilfrid Voynich in a library in Rome, this manuscript, dating back about 500 years, contains 240 pages filled with handwritten characters and illustrations unlike anything previously known. The enigmatic drawings include unidentified plant species, astronomical scenes, and other complex images, perplexing cryptographers and researchers alike. Many cryptographers, from employees of the U.S. National Security Agency, NSA, to World War II codebreakers, have spent countless hours attempting to decipher the mysterious language, but all have failed. This has led some to hypothesize that it might just be a complex joke, a kind of fake art created by a creative and bizarre mind from the distant past. However, modern analyses of the structure and layout of the manuscript have indicated that the Voynich manuscript possesses characteristics of a real language, with unique grammatical rules and vocabulary order. Studies on the frequency of words and sentence patterns show a certain order, similar to how natural languages are used. This has reinforced the belief that the mystery of the manuscript is not just a whimsical joke, but might contain an undiscovered system of information, a forgotten language, or a message that needs decoding. To this day, the mystery of the Voynich manuscript remains a fascinating challenge, inviting those curious about language and cryptography to continue their search for answers. Number 8. The Tarim Mummies, ancient preservations from the Silk Road. During a spectacular excavation in the Tarim Basin in western China, archaeologists uncovered over 100 mummies that are over 2,000 years old. Victor Mayer, a university professor, was incredibly astonished to encounter mummies with blonde hair and long noses at a museum exhibit in 1993, prompting him to return to collect DNA samples from these mummies. The DNA tests reinforced his hypothesis that these mummies were of European genetic origin. Ancient Chinese texts from the 1st century BC also noted the presence of white-skinned people known as the Bai, Yoji, and Tocharians. However, the reasons and mechanisms for their presence and settlement in the Tarim Basin remain an unresolved mystery. These discoveries not only broaden our ancient migrations, but also challenge previous assumptions about the distribution and cultural exchanges between ancient civilizations. Number 9. The Vanishing of the Indus Valley Civilization, a historical enigma. The Indus Valley Civilization, one of the oldest and most complex civilizations known, stretched from western India to Afghanistan, with an estimated population of up to 5 million people. This civilization was not only the oldest in India, but also remarkable for its advanced urban engineering and public sanitation achievements. It was not until John Marshall conducted excavations in 1922 that the world began to understand the extent of their sophistication. Cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro were equipped with highly sophisticated drainage systems and meticulously designed bathing facilities, reflecting a culture that valued cleanliness and organization. Intriguingly, there is no archaeological evidence of the existence of an army, kings, slaves, social conflicts, or common societal afflictions that plagued other ancient civilizations. The absence of centralized power structures and clearly defined social classes suggests a more egalitarian society where people enjoyed a relatively uniform standard of living and societal issues were resolved peacefully. These discoveries not only shed light on a long-lost culture, but also challenge current notions about history and social progress. Number 10. The Star of Bethlehem, unveiling the astronomical mystery of Christmas. For Christians, the appearance of the Star of Bethlehem, also known as the Christmas star, is not just a natural phenomenon, but a deeply spiritual event symbolizing the birth of Jesus Christ. Nearly 2,000 years have passed, and while the Star of Bethlehem remains shrouded in mystery, it continues to captivate the interest of both the church and the scientific community. Throughout this time, the Star of Bethlehem has posed a challenging subject for study among astronomers, historians, and archaeologists. Various theories have been proposed to explain its nature and origin. One of the most prominent theories was proposed by Johannes Kepler, the renowned German astronomer who hypothesized that the Star of Bethlehem might have been the conjunction of two planets, creating a uniquely bright light in the sky. Meanwhile, some modern scholars suggest that the star could have been a different astronomical phenomenon, such as a comet, a meteor, or even an unidentified flying object, although these theories remain controversial and lack clear scientific evidence to support them. Despite the current scientific foundations not being strong enough to provide a convincing explanation, the Star of Bethlehem continues to be one of humanity's great mysteries. It remains not just a part of religious belief, but also an open question in science, challenging the limits of our current understanding and inviting researchers to continue exploring and seeking answers. Thank you for joining World Mysteries on this journey to uncover history's greatest enigmas. Do these mysteries have answers, or will they remain forever shrouded in the shadows of the past? What do you think about today's story? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your theory might just offer a new perspective. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss our next thrilling discovery. If you love mysteries and have a topic you'd like us to explore, drop a comment and let us know. See you in the next episode of World Mysteries.